for joining me today. This is Joel Simmons from Earthworks. As you can see, we are a natural organic products company established back in 1988. And today, we're going to talk a little bit about a new program that we've established. That is our 555 program. And as we like to say at Earthworks, Earthworks is complete fertility. And as you'll see when we go through this, we have worked very hard over the last 23, 25 years to establish a very complete fertility line, and most importantly, a carbon-based fertility line. And we start everything by going through a soil testing protocol. All of our product development has been established by the elaborate soil testing work we've done over the last years. We do about 15,000 soil tests for clients, evaluating their soil profiles from an agronomic, physical, biological standpoint. Not only has that allowed us to allow our clients to find successes, but it's also allowed us as a company to build stronger and better products year after year. And recently we've established a new program that we call the 555 program. And what that is 3 separate products, Trilogy, Vantage, and Protein Plus, and 5 ounces of each every 2 weeks on 3 acres of greens works out pretty perfectly to 1 case of product. What the 555 is these 3 products, 3 separate products. GTBS is our soil conditioning product that includes phosphoric acid, potassium hydroxide, a host of trace elements, of soil conditioning materials, as well as biostimulants. Vantage is, of course, a calcium product that allows the plant to take up calcium and allows the soil to be flocculated. And lastly, Protein Plus is a 1426 NPK product. All of these products are rich in lots of carbon-based materials. And one of the things that is most unique to our new product is a brand new process that we have introduced to the industry we call micronization of humic acids. Now, micronization in its own right is not new, but what we've been able to accomplish is taking humic acid ore, and instead of acidifying it, as most humic acids are, we actually grind it down to about 1 micron, and makes this unique as we were able to develop a proprietary suspension agent to allow the humic acids to stay in suspension. So we've been able to utilize the entire ore in the soils program, not an acidified version. And when we acidify humic acid ores, we lose a large portion of the value of that humic acid. Now, humic acids, of course, have multiple values: chelation properties, root stimulation properties, microbial properties. All of these are enhanced significantly when we are able to use the entire ore process. So this is the backbone of our new generation of foliar feeding. So what we've really done is created a process here where we're allowed to bring in all the nutrients that the plant needs, and basically, if you will, a foliar or a soluble form. As you can see in this slide, we've wrapped that around with that dark ring, which is the micronized humic acids. All of that molecule is wrapped around with carbon sources, things like fish and kelp and amino acids and all sorts of things that will allow microorganisms to go after that molecule and mobilize those nutrients. So what's happening in solution is when this material is sprayed, it is completely stabilized by the humic acids. It moves to the root zone. It stays there as opposed to volatilizing or leaching out. And because it's stable and chelated in that area, and then the microorganisms go after this molecule that I like to refer to as my peanut M&M. As you see in this slide, we've got this nice peanut in the middle of the nutrients, around by all this different layers of chocolate, and that's what the microbes are going after. So not only do we have a stable molecule of rich nutrients, and again, a very complete base of nutrients, not just NPK and calcium, but a whole host of traces, but with all this sugar that's there that's allowing the microorganisms to mobilize the nutrients so that the plant's utilization is increased exponentially. So that's really the backbone of our 555 program. Again, these 3 materials. So what we got here is a program that is complete fertility, if you will, foliar fertility, all the NPK, traces, calcium, magnesium, sulfur, all nutrients, and many, many traces, not just the 3 or 4 big ones, but over 60, 70 traces in this package. It's very stable in soil solution. Because we've wrapped it around with all this carbon, we've brought all this carbon base there, so we're not only stimulating microbes, but we're also conditioning soils. So basically, we've got a program here that is complete fertility, plus essentially soil conditioning and free micro stimulation. One package, products, 3 years of greens, works out to be simply 1 box every 2 weeks to give virtually complete fertility. The first product in here is Trilogy, which is a 155. We've had basically built this with 3 of our older products, Kick, which is a humic acid product, Putty, which is our fish and kelp, and Base 1, which was 11010 with phosphoric acid, potassium hydroxide, and a host of trace elements. That combines to create Trilogy, so that's our foundation carbon-based product. Vantage has got 4 forms of calcium, plus all the cofactors allow calcium to uptake, things like boron, and all the other elements that allow calcium to actually move into the plant. There are really no foliar calcium products on the market, but by incorporating 4 forms of calcium, we're allowed to get activity into the plant that is superior to any other calcium product out there. Lastly, our newest product is Protein Plus, which is, again, an NPK product, a 1425. What we've done uniquely here is we've brought in all the things that the plant needs to build proteins. When it draws in nitrogen, it not only needs nitrogen, which makes up about 20% of the photosynthetic molecule, it needs all the trace elements. It needs calcium and magnesium and sulfur. All of those cofactors are in Protein Plus. So the plant gets that product intracellularly, it can quickly start to build proteins, the chlorophyll molecule. So it's a better color, it's a quick color, and it's a much steadier and long-lasting color. So the combination of the 3 products in our 555 program, again, are representing complete fertility and have been proven over the last 2 very tough summers to be extremely successful in reducing stress, in reducing costs, and creating a very healthy product that recurs quickly under adverse conditions. When we get hot, we like a little Potency Plus to the end of the program in June, July, and August to give it a little bit extra carbon to get through that stress time. Potency Plus is fish and kelp, which has a wonderful heat stress factor. And we identify things like high levels of sodium and bicarbonates. The back end of our program tends to be flushing programs with a product we call Kick. So a wonderful 555 program, which incorporates those 3 products we talked about. A little insurance with Potency Plus. And then lastly, if we look at soil tests and find bicarbonates and sodium, we talk about flushing programs with Kick. And our Kick rinse-in program incorporates Vantage, a little bit of gypsum, perhaps some surfactants, so we can get the system to work. And as we like to say as we end our webinar here, come join us on the web at soilfirst.com. Thank you very much for listening. I appreciate it, and if you have any questions, please feel to give us a contact. Thank you very much.